First question. What are the differences between plant anatomy and plant physiology? Discuss thoroughly. Plant anatomy is the study of the structure. So plant anatomy is the study of plants' internal structure, and physiology. It is the study of tissues and materials of the plant. This will include the roots, shoots, leaves, flowers, and fruits. While plant physiology is the study of plant function and behavior, encompassing all the dynamic processes of growth, metabolism, reproduction, defense, and communication that account for plants being alive. And the second question, enumerate and discuss the function of major plant parts. There are three main parts of the plant. These are the roots, the leaves, and the stem. Each part has a set of jobs to do to keep the plant healthy. The root helps provide support by anchoring the plants and absorbing water and nutrients needed for growth. The stems carry water and nutrients taken up by the roots to the leaves. Then the food produced by the leaves moves to the other parts of the plant. Leaves are the most important part of plant. They contain chlorophyll that helps the plants to prepare their food using sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. Third question, what are the parts found in the shoot system and root system? The shoot system consists of stem, leaves, and the reproductive parts of the plant, which are the flowers and fruits. The shoot system generally grows above ground, where it absorbs the light needed for photosynthesis. The root system, which supports the plants and absorb water and minerals, are usually underground.
I'm Roberto Italiano, and I am a student of Terzo Tablona Negros Oriental Campus, taking up Bachelor Science in Agriculture, major in agronomy. So for today's video, I will be discuss what is the difference between xylem and phyllium. Xylem is the complex tissue of plants responsible for transporting water and other nutrients to the plants. Phyllium is a living tissue responsible for transporting water and other nutrients to the plants. Describe the movement of substances in xylem and phyllium. Xylem transports water and mineral salts from the roots up to the other parts of plants, while phyllium transports an amino acids between the leaves and other parts of the plant. So there are two tissues, xylem, phloem. What is move? Water and mineral, sucrose and amino acid, process, transpiration stream, translocation. Xylem is one of the two types of transport tissue in vascular plants. The other being the basic function of xylem is to transport water from roots to stems and leaves, but it is also transport nutrients. Phloem is also called vast tissues in the plant that conduct foods made in the leaves to the all other parts of the plant. Phloem is composed of various specialized cells called sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma cells. The other cell types in the phloem may be converted to fiber. What is an annual growth ring? Growth ring means a cross section of the stem of a woody plant, the increment of wood added during a single growth period. In temperate regions, the growth period is usually a year, in which case the growth ring may be called an annual ring. In tropical regions, growth rings may not be discernible or not annual.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Jason Kadusali. Now I'm going to describe its internal structure of the leaf. Now the first is epidermal cells. Epidermal cells include several types of cells that make up the epidermis of plants. Although they serve a number of important functions, their primary role is to protect from a variety of harmful factors or environmental stressors, including microbes, chemical compounds, as well as ultraviolet light, among others. Next is palisade cells. Palisade cells are plant cells located on the leaves right below the epidermis and cuticle. In simple terms, they are known as leaf cells. They are vertically elongated, a different shape from the spongy mesophyll cells beneath them. It is referring to one or more layers of cells located directly under epidermal cells of the adaxial leaf blade surface. The palisade mesophyll is oriented vertically and is longer than broad. Photosynthesis takes place in both palisade and spongy mesophyll. The third is spongy mesophyll. Spongy mesophyll in a leaf. Mesophyll tissue comprising cells of irregular shape, some of them lobe, separated by large spaces in which the atmosphere is humid. It is the site of gaseous exchange for photosynthesis and respiration. The spongy mesophyll cells are covered by a thin layer of water when the plant is photosynthesizing during the day. These features allow carbon dioxide to diffuse into a spongy mesophyll cells and oxygen to diffuse out of them. The fourth is stoma. In botany, a stoma, from Greek, mouth plural stomata, also called stomate plural stomates, is a pore found in the epidermis of leaves, stems, and other organs that controls the rate of gas exchange. Stomata are present in the sporophyte generations of all land plants growth except liverworts. Stomata also are the tiny openings present on the epidermis of leaves. It plays an important role in gaseous exchange and photosynthesis. They control by transpiration rate by opening and closing. The fifth is guard cells. Guard cells are specialized plant cells in the epidermis of leaves, stems, and other organs that are used to control gas exchange. Guard cells are another type of plant single cells model to study early signal transduction and stress tolerance mechanism in plants. Guard cells are also surrounded by stomatal pore and are located in the leaf of epidermis. It controls influx and efflux of CO2 and water from leaves respectively. What is the role of photosynthesis and why is it important? Actually, one of the most important processes that allows plants to live is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process through which green plants create energy using carbon dioxide and water. The process requires a chemical called chlorophyll, which gives plants their green color and allows them to absorb light. Photosynthesis is important to plants because it allows them to make glucose, which is needed to make energy and cellular structures. Photosynthesis is also considered the most important process in biosphere due to the following reasons. First, it is the primary source of food on Earth. Second, it is also responsible for the release of oxygen into the atmosphere by green plants, which is needed by mostly all life forms. That's good be all. Thank you and God bless everyone.
Number 8 question is explain the water movement of plant. Transpiration takes place inside the leaves. During transpiration, evaporation causes water to escape into the atmosphere through tiny pores in the leaves called stomata. As water is pulled from between the microfibrils of the mesophyll cell walls, crescent-shaped menisci form as these become more curved. The surface tension increases, creating a negative pressure that pulls water out of the cells and eventually out of the xylem, resulting in what is called transpiration pool. Transpiration pool is powered by the sun, which provides all the energy for evaporation. That is why the amount of upward water movement is always at its peak during the warmest bright times of the day and always at its least after the sun goes down. Number 9 question is, what are the factors needed for plant growth? A healthy plant is usually upright with green leaves. Plants need light, air, and water to be healthy. These factors affect plants' growth hormones, making the plant grow more quickly. Light changes in the spring stimulate plants to break their dormancy. Plants need water to survive. Water nourishes the plant and hydrates it as the plant absorbs water through its roots. It also transports nutrients into its cells. CO2 is pulled from the air and converted into glucose, food, through the process of photosynthesis. If a plant doesn't have one of these requirements, it could affect its growth or even die. Number 10 question is, give at least 5 plant growth hormone and discuss each. There are 5 groups of plant growth regulating compounds. First is the auxin, second is the gibberellin or GA, third is the cytokinin, fourth is the ethylene, and lastly is the abscisic acid or ABA. For the most part, each group contains both naturally occurring hormones and synthetic substances. First is the auxin. Auxin causes several responses in plants: bending towards a light source or phototropism, downward root growth in response to gravity or geotropism, promotion of apical dominance, the tendency of an apical bud to produce hormones that suppress the growth of the buds below it on the stem, flower formation, fruit set and growth, formation of adventitious roots. Auxin is the active ingredient in most rooting compounds in which cuttings are dipped during vegetative propagation. Next is the gibberellins. Gibberellins stimulate cell division and elongation, break seed dormancy, and speed germination. The seeds of some species are difficult to germinate. You can soak them in a GA solution to get them started. The third is cytokinin. Unlike other hormones, cytokinins are found in both plants and animals. They stimulate cell division and often are included in the sterolene media used for growing plants from tissue culture. If a medium mix of growth-regulating compounds is high in cytokinins and low in auxin, the tissue culture explant, small plant part, will produce numerous shoots. On the other hand, if the mix has a high ratio of auxin to cytokinin, the explant will produce more roots. Cytokinins also are used to delay aging and death, senescence. Fourth is the ethylene. Ethylene is unique in that it is found only in the gaseous form. It indicates ripening, causes leaves to drop, and drop abscission, and promotes senescence. Plants often increase ethylene production in response to stress, and ethylene often is found in high concentration within cells at the end of plant's life. The increased ethylene in leaf tissue in the fall is part of the reason leaves fall of stress. Ethylene also is used to ripen fruit like green bananas. Lastly, the abscisic acid. Abscisic acid or ABA is a general plant growth inhibitor. It induces dormancy and prevents seed from germinating, causes abscission of leaves, fruit, and flowers, and causes stomata to close. High concentrations of ABA in guard cells during periods of drought stress probably play a role in stomatal closure.